There we go.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to all of you from Women with Wings. We're delighted to have you with us tonight to talk about the Yukon. So tonight we've got Jen Hewlett, the leader, with us, and Hannah, of course, who takes care of all the background work and gets you there safely and everything else. And my name is Cindy Horton. I'm the owner of Women with Wings, and I know many of you very well. Welcome, and we're going to start tonight by getting right into the itinerary. So here comes Jennifer.
Hello, ladies. Welcome, welcome. I think we have coast-to-coast visitors tonight. A dear friend of mine from Ontario, I believe, is piping in. So thank you from our side of the pond to your side of the pond. I sure hope you can join us. And obviously several of our guests from BC here. I wanted to introduce myself. For those that don't know me, my name is Jennifer Hewlett. I have been working with the Women with Wings team for about 10 years, and this is my 7th trip. Cindy kindly invited me to join the team. And the first trip I took was to Italy with my Fresh Air gals, who was they're a hiking group. And we had such a marvelous time. Honestly, we just did not want to come home. And I still look back on that trip with such fond memories. And it just seems to get better and better every time we travel. So I welcome you to this program, and I hope you too will be part of our journey for years to come. We do have lots of clients that continue to travel with us, and we go lots of different places. My last trip was actually to the Yukon in March of 2020. It was the last trip before COVID hit. We got home just in time. And I will say that the trip was just outstanding. There was many people on my trip who have traveled all over the world. And without a doubt, all of them were just astonished. They said this trip was a home run. It was on their bucket list, and they thought, oh my goodness, this is somewhere in Canada and it's 2 hours from home, and why haven't we done this? So anyways, I encourage you all to really think about a trip like this because it's so unique in so many ways. So getting started, I wanted you to all look at this picture very closely. This is the gang that came with us in 2020. It was a lovely, lovely collection of women, and we all experienced different things, but the greatest thing is that we all bonded immediately, as we all do in these trips. So rest assured, if you're coming on your own, the group always bonds quickly, and my job is to make sure that you feel welcome, and within minutes you're part of the group and the conversation just takes off. So don't hesitate to think about traveling by yourself, because we're just a big unit, and the laughter and the conversation is just outstanding. I do want to mention the clothing here. This is a big, big aspect to this trip. It's very unique to this trip. When you travel to the Yukon with us, we do outfit you with some northern wear. So you don't have to go to MEC, you don't have to spend a fortune. The clothing here is the jackets, the boots, the gloves, and the overalls. In this picture, some of the gals are wearing a few things, but all of the jackets. So rest assured that you'll be taken care of with some really warm clothing. What you don't have is the scarf and a hat. And I did want to, for those that know me, I love to dress up. So the props here are for your benefit, and wear a cozy hat and bring a cozy scarf, and obviously bring your own winter boots and so on and so forth on the days that you don't need heavy, heavy gear. So anyways, here we are. This is a group photo in Carcross, but let's roll the screen and we'll get into the Yukon adventure. Next slide. This here is the ranch. The ranch is owned by a young couple, and they have renovated it, and it's just lovely. 45 minutes from Whitehorse, and we're picked up and we're brought to the ranch the first afternoon, evening, and it is double occupancy. The bedding and the views, everything is just absolutely just beautifully done. So rest assured, you'll have a lovely bed, lovely bedding. The rooms are small-ish for our travel purposes with one bathroom, but you're really not in your room that much. We have some lovely artwork. All of the rooms have a view up to the mountain range and beyond the property. So it's very, very cozy. You will not be disappointed, and you will not go hungry, because I am telling you, it is just outstanding meal preparation. the gals that prepare the food for us, most of them are their family recipes. So very hearty, very wholesome. The breakfasts just go on and on and on, and you are just delighted and you're so full and you're so happy. And it takes you into the evening where we have some lovely appetizers. And then again, the dinners are just all first class and very, very wholesome and hearty, and the home cook. So it's a lovely big community table. And of course, we have an exclusive on the ranch for this trip. So it'll just be our group sitting, enjoying the cuisine together. This is a lovely seating room where there's a huge fireplace that's roaring, always stocked with firewood, so it's warm and toasty. The artwork is local artwork around the home, which is lovely to enjoy, and it just adds a different ambiance. Again, the appetizers every evening and is lovely. There is wine selections in the kitchen, and they have a very unique way of making sure that you have your own system to tally how much you have had, and in the end it's all very simplified as you leave. All of the rooms look out into this lovely landscape, and you can see the hot tub here in the foreground. If you're brave enough, yes, you do walk out to the hot tub. And last year I was sitting in that hot tub in minus 31-degree weather, and it wasn't bad. I was surprised. So grab a friend and bring your flip-flops and or some type of water shoes so you can scoot across, or your hiking boots, and you'll have a great time sitting watching the lights possibly, and in the mornings it's just glorious. So this is the topography here. These are called the Seven Sisters. There's a mountain range. The lighting, honestly, in the mornings, it's pink and purple, just actually glorious. This particular property, I believe they have 5 or 8 acres. And again, it's very, very, very flat, hard packed in some of the trail systems. So if you bring your trail crampons, which I suggest, you can get out and walk the perimeter. There's some lovely trails that meander in and out. Oftentimes our breakfasts are later, so you can have some time in the morning. So here we are, minus 31. There I was. You will be there too, and lots and lots of lots of goodies there. They do have a bonfire at night as we're out trying to keep warm and watch the northern lights. And for some of you who want to be very adventurous, they do have some fat bikes. In the summertime, this ranch doubles as a mountain bike destination. So they're huge bikers, but these bikes have tires that are so like winter tires. They're 4 times, I think, as wide as the normal tire. And in the end, everybody last trip tried to ride one of these bikes. So it was quite interesting. And again, it's flat, and there's areas that you can try these bikes. So anyways, I'll leave that up to you. And of course, the Northern Lights are such a gift. And if we can see them every night, oh my goodness, that would be such a blessing. We were fortunate last year to see them on several occasions. And I will say it's quite fascinating. We're at the ranch for day 1, 2, 3. So we are at the ranch for 3 nights, and they have a Northern Light detective. And I found that quite fascinating. So there is a volunteer that stays with us, and she's up all night. And when she sees the Northern Lights, she then lets us all know. And each person in the room has a walkie-talkie. So if you want your walkie-talkie on and you want to see the lights, about 1:40 in the morning, the second night we were there, off those the walkie-talkies went, and we had this little voice, and she was from France, and she was just delightful. And all of a sudden it was like, ladies, the lights are on, the lights are on. So honestly, we all jumped out of bed. It was just hysterical. It was like firefighters. We had our gear beside our bed. We jumped into our gear, our overalls, the winter jacket that we're given, our big boots. I think I had my pajamas on underneath, quite honestly. I was so excited. And we put our hats on, and we all ran outside, and there they were with their lights. And there's a fantastic platform that they've built where you can sit, and there's blankets. Several of the women who came last year were really, really into photography, and their cameras were stunning. So they had their tripods set up, and they were just absolutely all over it. Love it. So anyways, when people say, how do you know when the lights are on? Well, we now know because we have a detective in our program, and she wakes us when the lights are on. So rest assured, you won't have to be up all night waiting for them. You can get some beauty sleep while somebody else is watching for the lights. So fingers crossed, we will see the lights this year. And the following day takes us to our big dog sledding day. And the great thing this year, Cindy, thank you, thank you. Cindy has reached out to Marcella. Marcel is the dog sled owner of the ranch that we're going to see. And she is such an interesting woman. She is from Switzerland. She's a 4-time Iditarod finisher. She has 57 dogs on her property. And we all wanted to see and talk to her the last visit. Here she is here in the blinding snow. She lives in the most incredible log cabin you've ever seen and is something out of a movie set. 57 leashes, 57 name tags. I mean, it's unbelievable. And the food and the orchestration that she does and all of the math calculations. Anyways, we really wish that we could have spent more time with her last time. So what we're doing this year is on day one, when we arrive that evening, we have invited Marcel to the lodge, to the ranch, and she will come and do a presentation. And she will tell us about her story, which is really interesting. And of course, there'll be some Q&A period time frame afterwards. So when we go to see her the following day, you'll have a rich history of who she is, where she's come from, and what the ranch means to her. So I hope all of you will enjoy that. I know I will, because I really left the ranch last time wishing I'd spent more time with Marcel. She's just an incredible, incredible woman. So that's a big plus for us. So the dog sledding is a big day. Here's Marcel. She's giving us a demo. Again, I want you to look at the clothing. All of the women on this day, we all wear our winter gear because we're out for half a day. And it's gorgeous. We have our big boots and our gloves, and we're all bundled up. Again, you're going to partner with someone for the dog sledding. One in the bucket, one standing, and you go halfway through the trail and then you switch off. So here I am with one of our clients in the bucket, and she decided not to get out of the bucket that day. She was so cozy in there, and she said, "No, you can just carry on." So you'll have 6 dogs in front of you, and you'll be straddling the sled. And we have there is a sweeper behind us and someone in the very front with Marcel. So there's lots of safety precautions, but rest assured, you will be guiding. You can be guiding or sitting. And of course, if you're not comfortable and if you're nervous, then we'll make provisions for you to make sure you sit in your bucket. So here's a couple of the dogs that she has. Just a fascinating story. She has done that Iditarod. And for those of you that don't know about the Iditarod, it is a race in March. It's from Anchorage, Alaska to Nome, and it's about 1,500 kilometers. It takes between 8 to 15 days to complete. And this is what Marcel has done on 4 occasions. And she's now retired from that. But so she knows her dogs. She really knows her dogs. So I hope that you'll enjoy that. The other really exciting place that we're going to go is Carcross. Carcross is about 45 minutes again from the ranch. So we all bundle up and we head out to see a world famous carver. And I'm not sure, I'm sure many of you are aware of First Nations carvers, but this particular gentleman, Keith Wolf Smarch, his name is, and he's very well known in the Yukon and has lots and lots of credentials behind him. Very interesting work he does. We will be going to his workshop. We'll be spending a couple of hours with him, and he will be walking us through his current work. I'm not sure what he's currently working on, but his workshop is a live workshop, and he has remnants of other things that he's done. And again, it was just a fascinating story to hear how this all evolved. And we will again spend time with Keith, and he is very gracious, and it's not rushed. We can spend as much time as we want with him there. And it's a beautiful place. There's a beautiful lake that's right in Carcross as well. So after we finish with Keith, we walk out to see some of the beautiful artwork, and we will also dabble in a bit of snowshoeing at that point. And we will have some coffee at some of the beautiful First Nations coffee shops. So again, the landscape is beautiful in Carcross there, and we will just digest all of that before we head back to Whitehorse. Whitehorse will be the last day of our journey. We will head to Whitehorse, and on the Friday, we will book in at the Edgewater, which is a very modest hotel. It's great, but we're really not there that long. We have great beds, it's very comfortable, and it's right in the middle of the city. And we will leave all of our gear there, and then we'll head off to the wildlife refuge, which is quite fascinating. It's 400 acres. It's just outside of Whitehorse, and you'll see animals from all over the north that you wouldn't normally see. And they're here for various reasons. We are in a van, and the van will drive us through the wildlife refuge, but we can walk. And last year we did walk a lot of it from area to area. And we have a guide. Our driver is a guide, and he tells us all we need to know about the variety of animals that are there. So it's very fascinating. And again, if you have a camera, which I'm sure you will, there'll be lots of photo opportunities. So at that point, we get quite kind of, we're full of fresh air, and hopefully you're warm and toasty. And we're going to get even more warm and toasty because everyone brings their bathing suit. So don't forget to bring your bathing suit, which is an odd request for the Yukon. But we are heading to the Tahini Hot Springs, which is a world famous hot springs. And it's been in this area for a long time, 40 years maybe. But they're building a new one. So we're fingers crossed that the new facility will be ready and open for our travels in February. And this year is the one we were in last year. And it was just gorgeous. We were hoping the weather would be a bit cooler. It was about maybe +2 the day we were there, but I'm hoping it'll be about maybe -40. And it was really minus like 20. You can actually perform this type of hairstyle in the pool. So I am actually quite keen to have a very cold day because we didn't last year, and we could maybe challenge that gal. And they have photographs all over their walls up at the Tahini Hot Springs of people that have done great things with their hair. So I hope you too can make the Wall of Fame. We didn't last year because it was too warm, but maybe this year. So bring your cream rinse and conditioner and a good brush. Who knows? And then, of course, heading back to Whitehorse, we'll have a lovely dinner, our last evening together on Thursday, and all day Friday. We will get up, and really, Whitehorse is a gorgeous town and is yours to explore for the day of Friday. And we have the ice sculptures that could be there, providing it's cold enough. We have also the museum, very historical museum, and also a First Nations Aboriginal museum, which we didn't get to last time because it was closed, but it will be open. We assure you that on the Fridays, everything is open. So you'll have a full day. So you can shop, you can visit, you can explore, you can investigate the museums. And yeah, and then we'll gather up, and there's 2 flights home, Air North and Air Canada, both at different times. And that's a wrap. So grab your nice winter hat and your cozy scarf, bring a friend. It's going to be a great trip. I'm so delighted that Cindy has organized this for us again. It just is a joy to experience Canada and to support the people in the North, and to listen to their stories, because it's important. So thank you all. Blessings. And I'll pass it back to Cindy, who is our queen, our chief.
Awesome job, Jen. Honestly, I have to tell you, it's such a gift to be able to just watch this and not be presenting and feel your energy. And oh my goodness, I have to say, I just kept thinking, what a cool trip. What a cool trip.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to do it myself the year before. And we got up to Yukon as well, actually, on that trip. And we were lucky enough to have the iced hair competition at Tahini Lodge, and or Tahini Hot Springs, and it was just absolutely fantastic. So I do hope that you can do that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to ask Hannah speak to you now about how we get there and how we get back and how the registration process goes. And then we'd be happy to answer any questions that you have and go from there. So Hannah?
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah, so like Jen said, there are 2 options to fly into Whitehorse, either with Air North or Air Canada. Both airlines operate at the same time, leaving Vancouver into Whitehorse around 1:30 p.m. And you get into Whitehorse at 5, so just in time for cocktail hour. And then on the return, Air North leaves at 2 p.m. from Whitehorse, and Air Canada leaves at 5:40. So you can decide which airline would work best for you, depending on how much time you want to spend in Whitehorse on that Friday. You can also mix and match. So you can fly into Whitehorse with Air Canada and fly out with Air North if you'd rather leave a little bit earlier. That will cost a little bit more money. It's about $50 to do the mix and match option. And the prices range between $400 and $450. That's for standard economy. That doesn't include seat selection or checked luggage, but we can arrange that as well. So if you'd like help with your flights, we can help that for you for a small fee. If you'd like to book your flights with Aeroplan using your points, we can help arrange that as well. Just so you know that both airlines, the tickets are non-refundable. However, they do offer a change option. So if you had to cancel and you weren't able to make an insurance claim for whatever reason, you can use your credit towards a future travel. You'd have to use that within 1 year from the date that you purchased the ticket. So if I purchased your ticket today, October 26th, and I canceled it a month later, let's say, you'd have to start your travel before October 26, 2022. But if you do have trip cancellation insurance, then, and you can make a claim, if it's a claimable reason for your cancellation, then you can claim all that money back from the airlines, which we'll talk about that a little bit later in more detail. Like I said, we can assist you with your bookings. We'd be happy to help you with that. And if you are interested in joining us, you can send me the registration forms. My name is on the website. My name is Hannah Sorensen, and the full itinerary and the registration forms are also on our website, womenwithwings.ca. Cindy, would you like to talk about the insurance briefly, or should I mention that as well?
Why don't you go ahead, Hannah? I'm just making a couple of notes for after that. So if you
Sure.
don't mind, that'd be great.
So there are a few options for insurance policies. We recommend that you always have trip cancellation insurance in place. There are a few options. One of them is called Premium Protection Plan, which has a cancel for any reason policy in it. And that means you can cancel for anything under the sun, and you get up to 75% of your non-refundable fares back. There's also regular trip cancellation insurance that's perhaps a little bit less expensive, but not as full of a coverage. And then we also recommend out of province medical insurance as well. And if you have any questions about that, I can go into further detail because it can be quite confusing, especially with all the stuff going on with COVID. So there's a lot more details to be talked about for sure.
Great job, Hannah. Thank you so much. That's great. Yeah, there's lots of discussion about insurance these days, that's for sure. And this cancel for any reason is an important component. So as the group gets together, Hannah will be communicating with everybody and explaining what the most current situation is. Just a couple of things that I wanted to mention. On the day that you go into Whitehorse, obviously we have to move the bags into your hotel and have them settled there for you while you're out and about. Just want to assure you that we will take care of that and it will be seamless, so you don't need to worry. Also, special meals. If you have any special meal requirements, we can accommodate for these, but we do need to know in advance. So please be sure to put that note on your registration form when you send it in. That would be helpful. So the more information we have, the better we can help you, the smoother we can make it, and the sooner we can get to having fun, really. That's what it comes down to. And the only other thing I could mention to you at this time is that we are recording these meetings, and so you can view it through YouTube. It will be posted tomorrow on the Women with Wings website. So if you visit womenwithwings.ca under the Whitehorse area, there will be a link to the YouTube. And it's a great way to share it with your friends. We found with other tours that we've launched in the last few weeks, a lot of bookings have come in that way, where somebody has seen it, liked it, wanted to book it, and sent it to their friends. So it's just a way of really getting as much information across as we can. And I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming, Jennifer. Thanks for a great presentation. Hannah, thanks for keeping us all on track, always. And ladies, we hope you can join us in Whitehorse. Thanks for coming. One last thing, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned this. Are there any questions? If so, be sure to use the symbol.
Tula, I see you've raised your hand. Unfortunately, because we're in a webinar, that we can't communicate directly with you. If you have a question, can you use the Q&A button? Otherwise, you can always send myself or Cindy an email and we can get back to you. I'll just wait a moment just to see if anyone uses that Q&A.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that, on a meeting platform, it's a little bit different and it's easier to do. There you go, there's your question.
Hi, Sula. So the trip is in February, February 21st to the 25th, 2022. A mud spa there. So another question, there was a mention of a mud spa in the itinerary. I believe the mud spa is the Tahini Hot Springs. Is that right, Jen? Yeah.
That's correct, yeah.
It's not mud. It's a hot
No,
spring.
no.
Okay. If anyone else has any other questions, just feel free to email me and I can get back to you with those answers. All right, Cindy.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to hear from you. By all means, send Hannah whatever questions you have. We're here to answer them. And thank you for being part of our group. Good night.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.